Welcome to another episode of Loved Without Losing Yourself podcast. I want to start today with a question I know you felt, even if you haven't said it out loud. How did I get here? Not here in geography, but here to this place where everything on the outside looks like it's working. The job is good, the relationships exist, you are managing, you are succeeding by most measures, and yet something inside feels fractured. If you're listening to this, there is a good chance you are someone people describe as having it together. What this means is that you deliver, you show up. You probably do more than you share of the emotional labor in your relationships, at work, in your communities. You are the one people lean on. But here's what I know after working with hundreds of high-achieving women and leaders. That feeling of fracture isn't a personal feeling. That feeling exists not because you are not resilient, disciplined, or self-aware enough. It exists because you are caught in something I call the pressure trap. And today I want to show you exactly how that trap works. Pressure, real, sustained pressure, doesn't just make you tired. It doesn't just steal your time. It does something more deceptive than that. Pressure erodes four things that are non-negotiable for a life that feels like yours. First, clarity. When you're under pressure, your nervous system is designed to help you survive the immediate threat. It narrows your focus. Everything beyond what's urgent right now goes foggy. You can't see the bigger picture. You can't distinguish between what actually matters and what just feels urgent. So you end up saying yes to everything because you genuinely can't tell what you should say no to. And when I worked with recently, let's call her Helena. She was spent 2 years in a high-pressure role. She was killing it by every external metric. But when I asked her, what do you actually want? She went silent. And it wasn't because she was trying to be coy. She literally didn't know. She spent 24 months in crisis mode. And crisis mode had erased her own wants from you. Second, resilience. Here's what counterintuitive. The more pressure you're under, the more fragile you become. Again, this is not a weakness. This happens because resilience cannot be built in crisis. It can only be built in recovery. It can't be built in the spaces between challenges where you integrate what you've learned and restore yourself. When you're constantly under pressure, there is no space. There's no integration. There's no restoration. You are a phone at a 3% battery, and someone keeps asking why you are not holding a full charge. That's why you're not broken. What you are is you are drained, and you are not allowing yourself to plug in. Third, self-respect. This one can be hard, so please stay with me here. When you're under sustained pressure, you start making deals with yourself. You find yourself saying things like, I will just do this thing I don't believe in, just this once. I will override my own boundary just until this deadline passes. I will be someone I'm not around this person just for this situation. And every time you do it, you send yourself a message. And the message is this: I am not worth honoring. My own wisdom isn't worth protecting. My comfort is less important than keeping the peace. You cannot build self-respect through positive affirmations. You can build self-respect by consistently honoring your own values, even when it will be easier not to. When you are in pressure mode, that consistency gets impossible, and without it, something inside you starts to die. You might still look successful, but you know you've betrayed yourself. And that knowledge erodes how you feel about yourself at a cellular level. And fourth, connection. This is the one that surprises people. You will think being busy will just mean less connection, but it's actually worse than that. Pressure changes the quality of connection. When you're under pressure, you become transactional. You are kind, but you are not present. You show up for people, but you are not there. You're already thinking about the next thing. You're managing your reputation. You're solving problems. What you are not doing is being with another human being. And people feel that. The people you love most can sense that you are not fully there. So they stop reaching for the real you. They connect with the functional version of you. And over time, that feels like abandonment, even though you are the one pulling away. Here's why this matters so much. Pressure doesn't just take these 4 things from you. It creates a feedback loop. You lose clarity, so you can't make decisions aligned with who you are. You lose resilience, so you have nothing left to give. You lose self-respect, so you operate out of fear rather than values. And you lose connection, so you have no one to hold you when things get hard. And what does all of that create? More pressure. Because now you're not just managing external demands, you're also managing the internal collapse of your own foundation. You are succeeding on the outside while you are drowning on the inside. And because you're drowning, you work harder to keep the facade intact, which creates more pressure, which erodes these 4 things further. It's a trap, because the thing that got you here, your ability to push, to perform, to prove yourself, is the same thing that is keeping you stuck. Here's what I want you to notice. I haven't told you that pressure is bad. I haven't told you to work less, to care less, to lower your standards. Because the truth is, many of you thrive under pressure. You are smart, you're capable, you know how to deliver, but there's a difference between pressure that challenges you and pressure that erodes you. Pressure that challenges you keeps you growing. It demands the best from you, but it also lets you rest and celebrate and integrate what you've learned. Pressure that erodes you is relentless. It never stops. There's always another deadline, another obligation, another way you are not quite enough. And the worst part, you've internalized it. Even when external pressure lightens, you keep the internal pressure turned up. You don't know how to turn it down without feeling like you are failing. So here's my question for you. What has your pressure cost you? Not in terms of time or money, but in terms of clarity, in terms of how resilient you feel, in terms of how much you respect yourself, in terms of the depth of your relationship, because that's what matters. The beautiful thing I've discovered in my work is this: the moment you see the trap, you can step out of it. And you can do that not by quitting your job or abandoning your ambitions, and not by pretending pressure doesn't exist, but by making a different choice about what you are willing to sacrifice for success. And here's what I know. The women I work with who find their way out of this trap don't do it by becoming less ambitious. They do it by becoming more intentional. They reclaim clarity about what actually matters to them. They rebuild resilience by creating non-negotiable recovery time. They restore self-respect by making decisions aligned with their values, even when it's hard. And they deepen their connections by being willing to show up as themselves, not as a performance. This isn't about balance. It is not about having it all. It's about having yourself back. And the crazy thing is, the moment you have yourself back, everything gets easier. Your work is sharper. Your relationships are richer. Your decisions are better. You are not working harder. You are working from a place of clarity and strength instead of fear and fracture. I need to be honest with you about something. You always know what's happening. You felt it the moment I described that feedback loop, the way pressure erodes clarity, resilience, self-respect, and connection. You recognize yourself in Helena's story, most probably. You know what is costing you. The problem isn't that you don't understand the trap. The problem is that understanding it doesn't automatically get you out of it. Because the patterns that keep you stuck, they run deep. They are in how you were raised to prove your worth. They are in what you learned about love and belonging. They are in the nervous system responses that activate the moment you feel anything less than control. You can't think your way out of this. You can't willpower your way out of this. What you need is support, real, personalized, intensive support, the kind that actually helps you rebuild clarity about what matters, restore resilience so you don't break under pressure, reclaim self-respect by honoring who you really are, and deepen the connections that sustain you. That's what a reset is. It's not a workshop. It's definitely not another thing to optimize. It's permission to step out of the trap and build yourself from a place of strength instead of fear. If you are ready, and you will know if you are because you are exhausted by pretending everything is fine, then I want you to take one action today. I want you to go to penelopemagulianiti.com/reset. Look at what a reset actually includes. Read the details. If it resonates, apply. There is limited space because these are intimate, personalized experiences. But if you're ready to have yourself back, there is room for you. This is the moment, not someday, not when you have more time. Now, because the cost of waiting is another year of fragmenting yourself, another year of success that doesn't feel like success, another year of being loved without actually being seen. Go to penelopemagulianiti.com/reset, and I will see you next week.